My name is Pragya and I'm the co-founder at Ace My Prep. As a study abroad aspirant, are you still aiming for the fall 2024 intake? Or do you think that it is very late to target the fall 2024 intake or the September 2024 intake? In this video today, I'm going to help you understand all the whereabouts of the fall 2024 intake as well as the next possible intake, which is the January 2025 intake. Let us begin with a case study of Bharat Sai, who's a student who went to LSE. Definitely a very big brand name, but what makes this case very special is that Bharat didn't want or didn't select to apply to LSE until the very end. It was a last moment decision that we wanted to make, also given the fact that he had very high aspirations. We made this application in about February, early February, and yes, we have the results. He got through. What it takes to crack the last round for potentially any university across US, UK, Canada is a good strategy. For anybody here who's targeting the fall 2024 intake, I do want to tell you that you still stand a chance. It's just we need to understand a lot of concepts before we can go ahead. All right, so primarily right now, I want to talk about three segments about the fall 2024 intake, which is the deadlines, what and when to plan, and the action steps you need to take right now. Talking about the deadlines, when you even think of applying to the fall 2024 intake at the very end, what you need to understand is not just when the deadline is, but how the deadlines are given on the website. So when you visit any course page for that matter, you will find different methods in which the universities would have been talking about the deadlines. First is they give you a tabular format talking about the round one, two, three deadlines, and then immediately you're going to check whatever is the last deadline for the international students, and that is where you have to apply. What the student misses is the paragraph just below it, wherein they might also mention that after the last round for international students, they are extending the seats, open to getting an offer, but on a rolling basis. Or you might not find this intense, right? So I'm going to categorize this into three methods. First is you have a tabular format talking about the deadlines, nothing about the rolling admissions, right? So definitely it is off the charts. Second is when you have an option to apply still after the deadline and the admissions run on a rolling basis. So these universities can give you an opportunity. Now, the last is when all throughout the application period, the application was being accepted and being reviewed on a rolling basis. So definitely have a chance, right? But you still need to check in such kind of universities up till when are the rolling admissions being done. What happens is some universities they consider your application as and when it is submitted. Some universities they collect it into slots and give out the decisions. For example, UNC Cannon Flagger is one of them. It rolls out decisions altogether. Talking primarily about German schools, they wait until the very end until they roll out any decision whether or not you submitted your application earlier. Now, coming to what and when to plan. So definitely at this point, applying for fall 2024, we don't have a lot of time. And what has to be done is we need to apply quickly, but still make a perfect application because we are definitely being very competitive and we are taking a long shot. What to plan? Firstly, your IELTS. You need to have your exam. If you don't have your IELTS, then again you need to head back to your course page and check if MOI is being accepted. If the MOI is being accepted, you need to have that letter made from your institution and you're good to go. If there are other examinations that are being accepted, for example, DT, which is an easier option and a quicker option per se, you can go about that. At this point, IELTS still, if you go ahead even today to book your IELTS, it might take another 10 days for you to have a slot. That means overall 15 days because again another 5 days for the results to come out if it's a computer based exam. So you need that buffer of at least 15 days, which is what we have. Primarily, you have to make your applications by end of March, not later than it, right? There are some deadlines which are running up to April. I'll talk about some universities as well, which are going up to April, but it's always good to apply before March. When to plan? Right now, we don't have time. And I want to tell the students that it's important to upskill yourself about this entire process. At this point, a lot of students just head out to the consultants and would want help, which is genuine. There's a lot into the process, but sit down with yourself and think which course I'm wanting, right? Which university, if I have a target name, or if you do have not reached to that yet, just talk about okay, which course do I want, which country do I want. At this point, you cannot filter out by rankings, right? What you have to filter out with is the available deadlines, right? Whatever is available, just write it down, just scribble on a paper, right? Have an Excel, just post out the universities there. And the filtration can be done later, right? What are the action steps? The key takeaways from when to plan and what to plan would be that firstly, if you've not booked your IELTS yet and you have to take your IELTS, book your IELTS especially, right? And do that immediately. Second thing, do this list making. You need to have a list of universities which are still open. And in case you're finding it difficult to find these universities, reach out to us, right? Just comment and we're going to help you out. Apart from it, at this point, your documents are very important. So let's say your LORs are not ready, we're going to get late, right? Most of the universities will have the references just put down and they're going to send an email to them. But a lot of schools also require a formal letter of recommendation, which is duly signed and it is on a letterhead. You need that, right? So have these documents ready. Your mark sheets, your transcripts, your degree certificates should be with you. All of these documents nicely scanned. So start collating these documents now, right? If I have to summarize all of this and tell you what all steps you have to take today, you have to one collect all your documents from where and from here and where. Next thing is have your IELTS booked. If it's something they've not done yet or you've not taken IELTS, if you've taken your IELTS, then you just need to get to the university shortlisting, right? Okay. There are a couple of do's and don'ts that I want to cover. And talking about the do's, right? So check when the date of applications are opening. Now, this particularly refers to the Jan 2025 intake. Also, because at this point, a lot of students are confused. Should we wait for Jan 25 intake? You do not have to wait for January 2025 intake because it is already open. And if you again wait till the very end for making your applications, we're going to be in the similar story. So don't think Jan 2025 is very far. It is actually running. Check if the rounds are first come first. So we've talked about it. Most of these universities give a brief, subtle information of how they're going to review your application. And I'm planning to do a webinar on particularly searching the deadlines and January 2025 intake. So I'll have that covered. Right? All right. So what I want to talk about is the perfect January 2024 timeline, right? So it starts ideally with a search, then profiling. We match our profile to the universities, then we give our examinations. We get to the editing, we get to the applications, we get to the offer, visa, and then we fly, right? Uh, Talking about each month. So right now the search refers to the March month, which we are in currently. March, actually, you have to spend to collate the list of universities, understand where you would want to go. Now, it is not easy to just head to a university name very quickly, so you need to set your filters. For example, I am, very, very keen to just go to Texas, or maybe I have maybe just 40 lakhs to be spent. These are all my filters that I will sort out first, and then I will shortlist, right? Next is once I have my brief list ready, I'm going to check my profile. I'm going to see where I stand in terms of my grades, whether or not I have an examination like IELTS or JRE, and then I'm going to start matching my profile with the requirements of the universities. You should refer to definitely the course page, but also the class profile because you get a broad idea of what all can be accepted, right? In the month of May, you need to be taking your examination and this refers to both GRE as well as IELTS. Next, you go on to editing. Editing is definitely the biggest step you need to spend your time on. Do not take the SOPs very lightly. It's where your admission is going to come. Then you have to make your applications in July or August, and you will have your offer letter mostly by October. So then you start sorting out the visa in November, December, and you're flying off in January, right? I wish you all the best as you target, and I'm looking forward to having more doubts from you guys.